So I was recently tasked with making a music video, a zero budget music video, and this is one of the most challenging aspects of filmmaking. The majority of the work that we do costs money, and most of that money is essentially for locations, is essentially for the camera gear that we use, essentially for the rentals. So when tasked with doing this, the first thing you're constantly thinking about is how? How do I make a $0 budget music video? So the first thing that I had to think about was, what's the concept? How can I conceptualize something that we could do at the budget, which is zero? So that just means using free locations, using the equipment that we have, and making sure everybody's available at the time. So what that means is one-man crew, because it's very difficult to ask people to come work for free, especially in a city like Vancouver. Well, I guess it'll be far much easier to show you the music video and then talk about some of the things that we did afterwards.
Emergency again. Emergency again. You got your story to tell. Speak on, no they fear. No they fear. No they fear. You got your story to tell. Speak on, no they fear. No they fear. No they fear. My brother. Emergency again. My brother. Emergency again.
Them a talk. She want for job change. Them a look. She want for job change. Sissy Bella. Make I give you my bala. You want talk. Make I give you my bala. Me no like wahala. Me no like you drama. Come make I love you better. Then they call me chairman. Ládùúgbò mi ò títí yó. Ládùúgbò mi ò títí yó.
Emergency again. Everything up on the family. Everybody here, but they look like Danny. They want to know outside the rambo. They want to know how the birthday show. You got your story to tell. Speak on, no they fear. No they fear. No they fear. You got your story to tell. Speak on, no they fear. No they fear. No they fear. My brother. Emergency again. My brother. Emergency again.
The vibes is the good DJ.
So as you can see from the video, the concept of the video for me essentially was, it's a song about brotherhood. So it's how do we bring together brothers? What shows the brotherhood? What activities do we have? And then the people involved were the two artists, and then where two of their friends show up. And I just thought of making it a show about brothers walking throughout the city and experiencing the downtown Vancouver and just going in areas where we could find light. One of the challenges that I was having, because it was shot at night, it's very difficult filming in nighttime without big lights, without lights in general. So what we had to do was look for spots that had lighting but didn't have people, because this was shot on a Friday night and people are going for clubs, people are going to enjoy their day, and they don't want to be filmed like, bro, I'm cheating on my girlfriend. So those are some of the challenges that we were having. In certain spots, the security would be like, why are you here? And then you're like, oh, we're just trying to get a little video. Some of the lessons that I took out of it is that you really want to have a plan. You really want to know where you're trying to go. That way you save time. You don't want it to take you a long time because, you know, if you go into a spot and you take a shot and you got it and then you move on. And the other thing is, in terms of getting extras, you know, some people, when they see you doing something, they get curious and they want to be involved and they want to help, and you have to be open to that. The only challenge is, if you don't have contracts for people to sign, it might come back and bite you. You know, some people could essentially say, hey, I don't want to be part of this video anymore. Can you please take it down? You don't have my consent. So you want to think about the legal proceedings with that part of it. But the majority of it is people were game. People were just like, yeah, film us, man. We see your ambition and we want to help. You want to make sure the artist is on board, because you don't want to film and shoot an entire video and then give it to them and they go, nah, I don't want this. Because a lot of times they're building their brands. People are trying to show that they're, you know, they're classier, in as much as they don't have the money, they don't have the budget. What they also want is something that is good for their brand. And for you as a filmmaker, it's a representation of your work. So I think with these low level budget things, like zero budget, the thing you want to think about is your composition. You want to think about your storytelling. You want to think about those things and use it as an exercise to showcase what you can do with no pressure, you know. And you want to have almost a lot of creative control, because you know your limitations and you know a little things. Because a lot of times I think that, you know, for people who are not into filmmaking, there's a lot of assumptions that happens in terms of how the magic is done, how the sauce is made, right? So you always want to lower expectations. I think that a lot of times when we're asking for budget and they're like, why do you need it? Then it's like, well, I want to rent this camera because this camera, you know, is easy to work with in low light. They may not really understand why you're going for that camera. For them, they may just see it as, oh, you're just going for the most expensive thing. It's like, no. There are reasons, because part of your job as a cinematographer or DOP is problem solving in order to achieve a director's vision. So in most cases, that's where the cost comes up, because you're like, yo, I'll need a light. If we're trying to make a video in the nighttime, it's going to cost, because I need a light and I need it to make it look good, and then this is what I need based on my experience. And then sometimes you're experimenting with the little things, so you constantly want to be thinking about those things, like, okay, if I don't have all that, what can I do? And you go ahead and do it. A lot of music video, from what I've in the little amount of videos that I've done, is it's made in the edit. So most of the video, you have it in the edit, which can be a challenge, especially if you're a narrative filmmaker like myself, because you almost need a plan. Whereas with these type of things, there's not much of planning. You're just taking shots, and then you want those shots to sync up when you're in your post-production process. But in this moment is where you do it. And hey, if you're finding value in this video, smash that subscribe button. Back to the video. I was recently watching a J. Cole music video, which he just shot at the Mechanics, and that made me understand that a lot of times you don't have to complicate this filmmaking thing. You know, a lot of times we complicate it. A lot of times it's like, oh, I need A, B, C, and D. Not necessarily. Sometimes all you just need is a camera and the artist, and you get it done. You use the location that's available to you, and you don't necessarily have to stress yourself about things that you don't have. So yeah, it's possible to make $0 budget music videos in 2026, especially now with a lot of tools that we have. It's quite possible to make something majestic. The only issue is I don't know how much you'd enjoy doing something, you know, especially labor. I feel like as an artist, you're trying to invest in your brand, and to have something on your portfolio or on your videos where you're like, yo man, I had money but I didn't pay for it. I feel like if you have money, pay for it. If you don't let money be the excuse that you don't do it. So yeah, several lessons that I learned was, know your locations. Working with artists, it's quite different from working with actors. You know, you find some people are not really easily comfortable in front of the camera, so part of your job is making sure that they are comfortable. And how do you do this? A lot of times it's just talking to them and having fun and just shooting in moments. I recently learned this term. It's called a 50-50, where you shoot and the talent doesn't even know you're filming, because in those moments you get these beautiful moments that you can later use for your video. So that's something that I did in this one. There were moments where it was like, okay, action, let's do this, because we needed to lip sync the music to what they were doing. But then also there were moments where it's like, we don't need that, let's just film. And then you take those moments and you create this video that you have. Yeah, Another lesson I learned was always make sure the artist is on board, because at the end of the day, this is their video. It's not really yours. You're serving the creative. You can use the footage for your own demo reels and show other people that you've done it before. But the main thing is, when you're thinking about this, remember, this work doesn't define the work that you're going to be doing, but it shows your talent and it shows the things that you're capable of doing. It might be, especially at $0, which then allows somebody to imagine, okay, if this was zero, what would happen if I gave him a $500 budget? What would happen if I gave him $1,000, $2,000 budget? So you always want to constantly be thinking about that and just using the experience and then having an understanding of what it's like. Now I don't know what it's like to work with musicians, which is very different from the type of work that I was used to. I hope you find some lessons in this, and let me know in the comment section what else you'd like to talk about. See you in the next one.